What is good? It's your boy, Julian, Juju Raw. I'm back with another read with me. Got some free time, so I'm gonna actually read some shit. Get a light on in this bitch. There we go. You know what? I think I'm gonna change the little setting in this motherfucker too. You feel me? Oh, we're getting somewhere. Hold up. We're getting somewhere. Ruh-roh. What if I changed it to this right here? What if I did this one right here? I got all three of them. Just changing the color of the light, that's all. Trying to make my dreams a reality. I wanna be bowling through my hood so that everyone can see. Alright. Let's continue on, you know. I'm back. Gonna continue on where we left off at. Get the light shining down on the book while I read. See if I y'all seen like it? Oh. But yeah. Man, I wish I could. Hold on 1 second. You see I got my my baby stuff up there, and I also got my little deal right here with my books. I got another roll. Nothing too crazy of a library, but I got a little something. I'll be back. Look, I sound like sharing that shit. I guess I can't really go any lower. I'll put you on a little tripod. See how this go. Trying to make my dreams a reality. Let's see. How are we looking right here? I'll do this number. What the fuck did I just do? Don't use Siri. There we go. Ain't too bad. Y'all can see the back of the house. Let me close that up. Trying to make my dreams a reality. I wanna be balling through my hood so everyone can see. Finally got some highlighters. I don't be highlighting this fucking book. Got purple though. I don't know how that's gonna look on this shit. I don't look too bad. This one even got fucking ink left. God damn, that's like a fucking marker. That's trash. Alright, my bad for the fucking incoherent intro. This is Read With Me, Episode 3, I believe. Serpent, Grail. This book has a lot of correspondences in it that you can make between different shit. But Serpent, Grail, what else? Serpent, Grail. God, I'm running a blank. But I think we left off. I didn't get to finish part 2 of the of what the whole it's like a 3-part type thing to the levels of what the Holy Grail means, right? I think is where we left off. I'm gonna just pick up where I left off from. So yeah, I'm gonna start reading right now. Let's see. Whether the other realities that are visited in the hypnagogic state or lucid dreaming state are real places in themselves or merely creations of the mind is another thing. It could be argued that our everyday reality is a creation of the mind. Whatever the case may be, we should stress that access to such worlds can only be achieved via a fusion of opposites within the psyche. Since in most of us the psyche remains divided, the extra energy that enables us to experience these things will not arise, and we will understandably remain skeptical. Since we live in such a polarized reality, I guess if we never make those unities in between the different polarities in this reality, then you don't ever get to experience that hypnagogic or lucid dreaming state, right? Which can be real places or not, but just as this said, it can be debated on whether or not this reality itself is a creation of the mind, is what this paragraph just said. I'm highlighting for my own referencing. I should have been highlighting this shit, but just never did. The mixing together of the venom, death, and blood, life, of the snake corresponds to the superimposition of opposites that occurs in the mind during the hypnagogic state, i.e. being awake, conscious, and asleep, subconscious at the same time, and in equal measure. Furthermore, the high protein content in this potent elixir gave it hallucinogenic properties that could initiate a similarly hypnagogic state. The two ingredients also corresponded to the 2 serpentine energies of the Kundalini enlightenment experience, which unite in the center of the head at the climax, at the point of climax. See Appendix 2, the Quantum Grail and the Quantum Serpent. That sounds pretty interesting, honestly. Put a little star right there. In the not too distant past, the male of our species felt it necessary to constrain the female and suppress, or rather control, her energy, which he saw as potently powerful. As all human beings are born from the female, the male believed that she held the secrets of sex, life, and death, which he wanted not only to understand but also to control. The rise of power of male-oriented religions was due in part to the desire to control humankind's feminine-related emotions. However, after years of being ruled by male-dominated religions, people felt they were becoming stifled by the dogmatic institutions they themselves had created. They began looking for answers to the fundamental questions about the nature of human existence outside religion within the physical environment. This led to the so-called Age of Reason and the establishment of science. Ironically, our observations of physical phenomena have revealed that these same gender-related opposites also manifest on both the macrocosmic and the microcosmic levels of reality. Not only is reality dual in nature, but we also have a dualistic perception of it. As long as our mind is divided in two, we will never be able to comprehend the true nature of our existence. There will always be problems to overcome and paradoxes to solve. By uniting these two opposites, however, we attain the healing wisdom of the Grail and are reborn with a totally new perspective. That was pretty good paragraph right there. Let me go ahead and say that back. Not only is reality dual in nature, but we also have a dualistic perception of it. And as long as our mind is divided in two, we will never be able to comprehend the true nature of our existence. There will always be problems to overcome and paradoxes to solve. By uniting the two opposites, however, we attain the healing wisdom of the Grail and are reborn with a totally new perspective. So it's all about living that middle path, right? You may dive too far onto the right side. You may dive too far on the left side for periods of time in your life. But that's just, sometimes it's necessary. You may be totally Catholic for a good portion of your life and then be like totally Islam for a good portion. Or you may be totally religious, I should say, and then totally atheist at some points in your life. But when you finally come together, hopefully you reach a point in your life where you bring the best out of the two and meet in the middle, realizing that God is not an exoteric thing, but it's not all esoteric. Or you realize that the true religion is you, is your life and your experience in this world, right? But that being said, let's continue. The feminine principle is the healing element here, and that the feminine related subconscious contains the meaning behind the seemingly random processes observed by the masculine related conscious mind. This is why the Grail is also associated with romance, chivalry, and a moral code of conduct in which the respect for the feminine principle is not only paramount, but is also essential for the initiate. The reintegration of the psyche is really only the first step in the Grail quest. However, the goal of the quest is a transcendence of duality. So this whole Nicolas Cage, Da Vinci Code bullshit, it's not really a physical thing you need to be searching for, dude. It's like it's a within quest. It's an internal quest. You go on the quest for the unity of your own masculinity and femininity, and embracing the best and balancing the two within yourself, being the Holy Grail. Once you find that middle path, that middle ground between both opposites inside of you, deep inside of you, then you found the Holy Grail, your Holy Grail. So let's go. Ancient knowledge, especially that provided by Eastern scriptures, suggests that there was once a close working relationship between the male-related conscious and the female-related subconscious parts of the mind, and that the male once worshipped the female and the female energy, hence the world mother concepts and goddess cults. It is this close working relationship that sets the shaman apart from the rest of the human race. Indeed, the evidence suggests that we were once all natural shamans, open to other levels of reality due to the unity between these two divisions of the mind and the two hemispheres of the brain. As many theologians will know, inner wisdom and knowledge have often been associated with the female, the shamanic world mother, and the pagan earth goddess, as personified by the Gnostic Sophia and Isis and the goddess of ancient Egypt. Isis, the goddess of ancient Egypt. It is possible that the hypnagogic state represents similar archetypes in the form of dreams and visual auditory information. It is also possible that this information emanates from the domain of the collective unconscious, a theory first put forward and favored by Carl Jung. Whatever the fuck, Jung. I'm going to say Jung, though. Jung also studied alchemy and discovered that alchemical symbols contain many similar motifs, related images, and patterns, which he called archetypes. These archetypes, he observed, seems to allude to a greater truth. Something in there that I was going to highlight. See, it is possible that the hypnagogic state presents similar archetypes in the forms of dreams and visual and auditory information. Jung would ask his patients to describe the contents of their dreams and was amazed when they described events and situations featuring visual images similar to the symbols and illustrations found in many alchemical works. They also described the icons and symbols of the world's religious, mystical, and esoteric traditions. What Jung termed the collective unconscious can therefore be thought of as an underlying pool of energy information which contains the primordial gestalts or memories of our race in the form of recurring symbols and archetypes. If Jung's concepts had been known during the time of ancient Egypt, his collective unconscious would have been compared to the Duat or the Twat. The Twat, you fucking twat. Damn. So it's almost like the twat, you know. It's funny, you know, that they use the word twat as a derogatory term, right? When twat typically refers to, from what I understand, twat pretty much refers to a vagina, right? Like you're being a pussy. You fucking twat. It refers to something feminine, right? But right here it's saying duat, or this is the first time I've ever heard it. Maybe I'm new to this. But this is the first time I've ever heard it pronounced T. So you got duat, D-U-A-T, or tuat, T-U-A-T. Now, if you don't know, I think the duat is kind of like the underworld, or, you know, a dark place. I think somewhere in the Vesica Pisces of the magnetosphere that's around our Earth and shit like that. When you look at that theory and all, there forms the center of the Vesica Pisces, right? Which looks like a vagina, pretty much. And the Duat pretty much symbolizes that. I think it's that fucking middle Vesica Pisces, or the twat. It's fucking crazy how like the terminology and etymology of things, and you just don't even realize it. But yeah, so that's pretty crazy right there. The underworld, there we go. I haven't even read it yet. If Jung's concept had been known during the time of ancient Egypt, his collective unconscious would have been compared to the Duat or the Twat, the underworld or realm where the dead go to live, which has many counterparts in cultures around the world. Like in the Kabbalah, I think they call it the Da'at. The Da'at. Which really just sounds like it's just ripping off the Duat or the Twat. And in the Kabbalah, the Da'at is the other side of the tree of life, the dark side, right? Dark side, underworld, feminine principle, subconscious. You know, it's not the scary bullshit. It's the diving deep into your femininity to understand yourself. But we live in a patriarchal society. It may not even look like it, but the fucking lesbians want to be dudes nowadays. So of course they're gonna make the Duat, the underworld, the dark side, the Da'at, the dark shadow shit, the evil, because they don't want you to tap into that shit, right? So, but you know, if you start tapping into that side of things, they're gonna be like, oh, you're doing fucking evil bullshit, but it's not. You're just tapping into your feminine side, or it's that dark side is helping you tap into your feminine side to pull what you need to make you a better you, and to prepare you for your own truth. In our view, however, collective unconscious is a misnomer. Rather, being unconscious, this domain is the subconscious. The word unconscious implies that we are totally oblivious to this underlying mental realm, which is not always true. We are subconsciously aware of the archetypes. In fact, they constitute an enormous part of our inner psyche. We are also subconsciously aware of the underlying stories, myths, and legends that enthralled and mesmerized us when we were children. We will sometimes even apply them to our own life, for they often reflect our dreams, our hopes, and desires. Even the image we like to have of ourselves seems to be mirrored at times by the gods, heroes, and heroines we have heard or read about or seen in films or on TV. But then the mythical level is also the realm of the imagination, a realm where the impossible may become possible. This is why the second Grail level can be so frustrating to comprehend, for the information it contains is often conveyed in surreal, dreamlike events which contain all the enigmatic metaphors and symbols of the dreams or visions associated with the subconscious or the sleeping half of the cycle. The serpent or snake is indeed a major symbol. It appears all over the world in one form or another. Although often presented as an image of evil to be conquered by an initiate or hero, it also symbolizes a life force itself. This is the main reason why the symbol of the serpent is universal and an important archetypal clue to the knowledge pertaining to both the first and third levels of the Grail. Just to kind of recap on what the first level was, right? First level, the practical first level, the elixir of life. The first level of the Grail is tangible, physical, and also practical, something which can be examined, measured, and tested. The second level, and if you want to read more about the first level, go to my the previous video I did before this one, right? Second level, the mythical level, right? This is the level at which we usually first encounter the Grail mystery. In fact, it's just a Grail mystery inside of you, though. So, the transcendent third level, the Philosopher's Stone. Look at my little cat right here. Oh, fuck. Oh, he was now he's awake. But I got my cat. He's a little shit sometimes. But what if I wear this hat, right? My thinking hat. I'll put that on. Looking like a motherfucking Feature Hendrix now. Looking like a goddamn Carlos Santana, fool. You know it, Holmes, for reals. But yeah, fuck it. I'm gonna just leave this cap on, see what happens. You hear me? I'm gonna tap it like that. The transcendent third level, the Philosopher's Stone. I'm gonna finish this third level, and then that's gonna be the end of the video. And I'll come back whenever for the next part. This may be the end of chapter 3. I don't know. If it is, then I'll come back for chapter 4. But let's get it. The transcendent third level, the Philosopher's Stone. This level, which is represented by the apex in our diagram of the Grail triad, is in itself neutral, since it is here that the positive first level and the negative second level are united and neutralized. That kind of fits kind of small on my head, but it's cool. At this level, the Grail represents knowledge both of the underlying forces of reality and how these forces are linked with our own consciousness. This level is associated with the final stage of the alchemist's work, the Philosopher's Stone. This level is associated with the final stage of the alchemist's work, the Philosopher's Stone. It also corresponds to the sky or higher world of the three cosmic zones. Later called the Kingdom of Heaven by Christians, which is just within you, right? You know, that's why, like, I wear this, right? Armor of God. It's not a totally Christian thing, you know, because if you realize you got the God within you, then you're wearing your armor, your own armor, right? For protection. This is it. It's all I need right here. I don't need actual chainmail and shit. You know, spiritually, I got that on me already. I keep that on me. You know, like I said in my mentality video, my mental is always, regardless of my circumstance or situation or what I may be going through, my mentality is that no matter what, I'm good. I'm protected. You may throw a strike at me, but I've already got you. I'm 2 steps ahead, baby. I'm 1,000 steps ahead. This is real life. I think we're playing chess, but I'm all good. Let's go. It is also the source center of the concentric sphere, the center of the earth and the center of the womb, or the ovum of the world. Mother, the center of the mixing bowl known as the Grail. It is the goal of the yogi to achieve enlightenment through following the mystical path and to this source center. The shaman, however, does not always have this as his goal. The shaman is a sorcerer, a magician, and so he takes the magical path, a shortcut, and seeks to use the inner realms of consciousness for his own and others' purposes. He brings back knowledge from them, through which he and others can learn. However, we would stress that the wisdom of yoga has its origin in the knowledge gathered by the ancient shamans. So this is another thought that's kind of been lingering in my head since it was kind of first proposed to me, right? The mystical path versus the magical path, right? Or the shamanic path. You know, the mystical path, if you watch Brother Yusuf's video on it, which I watched, right? And it was a good, a good concept to think about. I had never thought about it before until it was in that video of his. Brother Yusuf, you can catch him on New Life Tools as well, NULYFETOOLS. He's got a video on the mystical path versus the magical path. So the mystical path is like all your answers come from within. You don't read books. You don't do rituals. You don't use any kind of tools, external, exoteric tools, physical, tangible tools. You don't take advice from anybody. You don't absorb knowledge. Your knowledge is from within. It's a great path, right? It sounds amazing, right? And then the magical path, right, is you gain your knowledge, understanding, and wisdom not only internally, because you do get it internally, but you also get it externally from reading books, practicing rituals. I ritualize certain things, but I don't practice rituals. You meditate on on the knowledge that you've absorbed. You let it gestate, all that, and you kind of make it your own, right? You add your little twist to it. Personally, just because it's more fun, I like the magical path. But there's nothing wrong with the mystical path either, because it's all about finding light, right? You can find light through this way. I always cover my mouth, but you can find light through this. Ooh, caught that. That's them reflexes, boy. My body's ingrained with killer instinct. But, you can, I like the magical way. It's more fun. Like, you got a book. We live in a 3D reality, so why not embrace it while I'm here, right? Because after this, I don't know where I'm going. I might not have tangible items anymore, or exoteric and external toys, right? Really just toys, magical toys. Mystical path is like all from within. You don't play with toys. You're too grown for that. Now, it's not even that you're too grown for it. Some people just don't feel the need, and that's fine. We're all just trying to find light, no matter how you do it. You can find light through toys, or you can find light from closing your eyes and just letting it come, But yeah, so that's just another concept that's been introduced to me as of recent, maybe about, I don't know, a month or two ago. But I like this way better, so I'm going to stick to this. And who knows, I may just burn all of these one day and just go straight mystical, right? But I kind of do both. We all live our own life experiences, so we're going to each have different experiences. So what I say, what this book says, what anybody on YouTube says, what anybody else in any lectures say, you can just take their word for it and try it out or not. And you can just do you, It's up to you. Well, let's return. Kind of hot in here. The shaman is able to enter the underworld, the land of the dead, and return to the land of the living by feigning death. This is achieved through the reintegration of the mind and the ego, which is also said to happen at the point of dying. The reintegration of the mind and the ego, as in the Bardo experience described in the Tibetan Book of the Dead. The word Bardo, formed from bar, interval, and do, two, means gap or between two. So we are again talking about an in-between state, not only between life and death, or this world and the next, but also between the opposites of male and female, conscious and subconscious. The bardo can be equated with the synaptic gap in the lattice structure of reality. And we'll stick with that because I like that. So the word bardo, formed from bar, interval, and do, two, means gap or between two. So we are again talking about an in-between state, not only between life and death, or this world and the next, but also between opposites, male and female, conscious and subconscious. The bardo can be equated with the synaptic gap in the lattice structure of reality. The latter is said to be made up of waves whose positive and negative lines of force meet and converge, thus canceling each other out and creating a void or gap or a synapse in the space-time continuum. This synaptic gap or 0-point node, the bardo, in the cycles of reality, is said to be located at every point in space and time and reflects the same synapse or unconscious gap in the oscillations of our own consciousness. It is this unconscious gap in the human consciousness which the shaman pierces consciously in order to reach the other worlds within. We'll read that again. The synaptic gap or 0-point node. I'm going to read the whole paragraph again. Fuck it. The bardo can be equated with the synaptic gap in the lattice structure of reality. The latter is said to be made up of waves whose positive and negative lines of force meet and converge, thus canceling each other out and creating a void or gap, a synapse, in the space-time continuum. The synaptic gap or 0-point node, the bardo, in the cycles of reality is said to be located at every point in space and time and reflects the same synapse or unconscious gap in the oscillations of our own consciousness. It is this unconscious gap in human consciousness which the shaman pierces consciously in order to reach the other worlds within. So, the shaman is trying to create a middle point between the 1 and the 0, right? That's why they bang the stick on the circle, the stick on the circle drum, reuniting that phallic with the vaginal symbols, the symbology of both, right? And that boom, every time they hit, is that 0 point. They're trying to consciously initiate that boom, that om sound right there. And it's there where it puts you into a trance-like state, that alpha state, where your subconscious is now conscious. The subconscious, the underworld, the land of the dead is now conscious. It's now the living dead. It's the rise of the dead. It's like a zombie. A zombie. When you think of the zombie movies and viruses, right? That's just the collective unconscious. The zombies is a symbol and metaphor for the collective unconscious, for the dead, the subconscious, which has risen into the quantum realm. That's why it's a virus trying to bring everything in to make it one unison, right? Because eventually a zombie virus gets everybody. You've seen The Walking Dead, everybody is infected. Spoiler alert, if you ain't seen that yet. Everybody's infected. Eventually everybody will be a fucking zombie, right? I didn't watch fucking seasons like 4 and on, right? But from what I last remember, everybody had the virus. I don't know if they ever came up with a cure. But that's what that is, bro. That's the zombie. That's the quantum realm trying to bring everybody into a collective unconscious, right? Because eventually that's where we all end up anyways. In the subconscious. But that's also with the whole Necronomicon and all that shit, the rising of the monsters. from your subconscious. That's them rising up, conscious, waking them up. Let's continue. I'm highlighting that shit too, because god damn, that was crazy. That was good shit right there. The synaptic gap or 0-point node, the bardo, in the cycles of reality is said to be located at every point in space and time and reflects the same synapse or unconscious gap in the oscillations of our own consciousness. It is this unconscious gap in human consciousness which the shaman pierces consciously in order to reach the other worlds within. This connection with the bardo suggests that the shaman's experience of the underworld is comparable to what we now call the near-death experience. The shaman's ability to enter the realm of the dead and return from it, bringing back knowledge, has earned him the nickname of trickster, for he can cheat death. Trickster, right? The Joker. The Joker, right? The Jester. Isn't the Jester associated with, I believe in the tarot, it's an air element? So, Jester to air. And what do you do every day? You breathe in that Jester, that joke. So you mean to tell me that breathing is a joke? I'm not telling you to go stop breathing, but this whole breath that we take every day, is that the cosmic comedy? I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. The same name is also associated with the female, including the archetypal shamaness, who is said to accompany the shaman on his otherworldly journeys. Like Eve, who offered the apple of knowledge to Adam, the female, i.e. the underworld, world mother, and female domain of the subconscious, is believed to trick the male by seducing him into entering her or becoming one with her so that he can gain knowledge through his experience. It's a good reference point right there. Eve offered the apple of knowledge to Adam, the female, i.e. the underworld world mother and the female domain of the subconscious, is believed to trick the male by seducing him into entering her or becoming one with her so that he can gain knowledge through his experience. In effect, each time the shaman comes back from the realm of the dead, he is reborn in that he possesses a new perception of reality due to the knowledge he has accessed within himself by using methods to make the subconscious conscious, to wake the dead. Who else rose from the dead? In effect, the method by which he accomplishes this feat provides him with insights into the cyclical process of the birth, death, rebirth cycle, known to us today as reincarnation. Our research suggests that the avatars and spiritual teachers who have appeared throughout the course of human history have had similar understanding of these processes, which they have chosen to communicate in their own way. However, their words have usually fallen on deaf ears or been distorted and exploited and have therefore lost their original meaning. Chapter 3 done. Look, listen. Our research suggests that the avatars and spiritual teachers who have appeared throughout the course of human history have had similar understanding of these processes, which they have chosen to communicate in their own way. Everybody has got a lick of knowledge to give. Nobody has 100% the right answer or wrong answer. You got to go, everybody has something you can gain knowledge from to make your own, understand it, and turn it into wisdom that you can apply in life, either for yourself, for someone that you love, or to spit out and just send the message out. And whoever receives it, receives it. Whoever doesn't, doesn't. But that's the end of chapter 3. I hope y'all liked it. I'll come back with chapter 4. I really like this setup. We got the blue in the back, trying to get that throat activated, What? No Diddy. Trying to get that motherfucking throat chakra activated. That blue. And I think it was a little bit. I know it was. What am I talking about? I did that on purpose. But that's that. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. See if this I use this tripod and this clicker for working out my workout videos too. Because I record my workout videos as well. I have another channel called Program Lab Rat, PROGRAMLABRAT. I put my workout videos on there. Yeah, that's about it. That's all I got. Y'all go check out that other channel if y'all want or not. I don't really give a fuck. You like this message that I put out there? It's not really my message. It's a message of what's in this book. And, you know, I've gathered my knowledge and notions and concepts from other people on YouTube as well. But, you know, I'm sort of an amalgamation of so many different experiences and mentors and teachers and books. You know, I love lifting weights. I love martial arts. But, you know, I think I got a little bit to put out there. If you like it, you like it. Cool. If you don't, cool. Whatever, you know. Hope y'all enjoyed it either way. If you didn't, oh well. Move on. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace. I clicked the button and it turned my other fucking phone on. Record on another phone. But peace. Catch y'all later.